What's up, guys? Welcome into another episode of the Michigan Recruiting Report. We are going to be breaking down 5 key recruits I saw on the road, including Michigan quarterback commit Brady Hart. So stay tuned for that. But before we talk about the 5 key recruits, I want to invite you guys to subscribe to our YouTube members. We have a new YouTube membership here on our YouTube channel, and that means you get exclusive access to the live recruiting show with me and the Chris Ballas and Doug Skeen show, as well as other perks, no ads, so you can come over to our YouTube members, get that Maize and Blue membership for just $4.99 a month. And remember, you get that exclusive recruiting show with me, the Chris Ballas and Doug Skeen show, no ads, and plenty of other perks. So take advantage of that today. If you missed the recruiting show, you can still watch it. All you have to do is join the Maize and Blue membership. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for free. All right, let's break down 5 key recruits I saw on the road. Let's start off with quarterback commit Brady Hart. So, Brady and his Coco team played against national powerhouse Bradenton IMG Academy, and Hart didn't have his best game. He was 16 for 31 for 232 yards, a touchdown, a rushing touchdown as well, and 3 interceptions, which, you know, I think was a product of a lot of things. His first interception was tough because his receiver slipped on the route. The ball sailed on him a little bit. And I think, you know, the rest of the game, he was just trying to make plays. Now, it should be noted that Coco is a small public school. They're in class 2. There's 7 classes in the state of Florida. So that's, you know, pretty small. And IMG is obviously a national power that can recruit talent everywhere. I think IMG just kind of wore him down in the trenches, and Brady was under pressure all night long. I mean, he took like more than 15 hits back there. He was completely under duress. And so that didn't really allow him to set his feet and, you know, drive on his throws. And Brady's a big timing guy. His offense is very quick game oriented, and he was never able to really get into a rhythm because of that constant pressure he was facing from an IMG defensive line that has all Power 5 recruits. So I think it was tough for him to, tough for him to really establish a rhythm, or, you know, he always had to worry about getting hit in literally a second or two of dropping back. So I think it was just a rough night for him, and I don't fault him for that at all. I still think Brady is one of the elite quarterbacks in the 2026 recruiting class. I mean, he checks a lot of boxes. He's fundamentally sound. He does have great pocket presence. He's pretty athletic for being a taller quarterback at 6'5", 185. He can move in and around the pocket. Not a true threat to run with his legs, but can if you need him to. Like I said, he scored a rushing touchdown. I also think he's a guy that's going to continue to fill out that impressive frame. I think he can add 30, 40 pounds with ease and continue to develop and mature physically. And so I think there's a safe baseline with Brady Hart, but I also think there's a tremendously high ceiling as well. So, you know, I wouldn't read too much into the stat line. You know, anytime you play IMG Academy, you're probably going to end up with that. So it's a tough task, but I thought Brady did a great job of showing his own toughness, getting up from all of those hits, still trying to make plays, leading his team. So, and still showing some of those elite traits as well. I think that Brady is still the future for Michigan at the quarterback position. I just think Michigan fans wish he would be able to get to campus earlier. But, you know, he is part of the 2026 recruiting class. I think he's going to do a tremendous job of leading the class and getting other top talent to join him. He is expected to be back on campus for a visit for the game against Minnesota later this month. All right, let's go ahead and move on to another Michigan commit, and that is on 300 running back Donovan Johnson. So Donovan Johnson hasn't gotten a ton of carries, or didn't have a ton of carries early in the season through his first 2 games. I believe he only had 5 or 6 carries. Remember, he was rebounding from a torn ACL. He hadn't played a lot of football over the last 2 years. Michigan took him anyway. He was, as a freshman in high school, he was considered a potential 5-star prospect. He's a big kid at about 6'1", 213 pounds, I believe is what he's at right now. He ran a sub 11 100 meter as a freshman. And so I think there was just a lot of positive indicators when it came to Johnson pre-injury. Now, post-injury, he's been a big question mark. You just don't really know what you're going to get out of him, especially with limited carries. However, on Friday night against Cocoa, he got double-digit carries, broke the 100-yard mark, had a touchdown. So that was really awesome to see, especially following Donovan Johnson's rehab since I first met him back in May. I think it's been cool to see the work he's put in and it finally pay off on the field. I was super excited when he scored that touchdown. And like I said, he had over 100 yards. So really productive game for Donovan. I'm curious to see how he continues to get comfortable and progress throughout the season. He's a really tough runner between the tackles. He obviously has the speed as well. He was a junior Olympian, like I said, running a sub 11 100 meter as a freshman. But I still think he's a little bit hesitant, doesn't really have that second gear just yet. So I think a lot of that is just he hasn't played football, man. So, and he didn't even go through spring practice or anything. He wasn't cleared until late May. So I think it's just about him getting more reps, getting more carries, feeling more comfortable, getting used to conditioning as well, of getting double-digit carries since he hasn't gotten that in a long time. So yeah, I really like what Donovan Johnson brings to this table. If he can stay healthy, I think he could be one of the bigger steals of the class. And, let's go ahead and move on to the target list and go with a 2026 offensive lineman, Breck Kolojay. So Breck Kolojay visited in June. He's out of IMG Academy as well, but originally from Colorado. He actually grew up down the street from former Michigan center Drake Nugent. He is part of the same training program that produced Connor Jones. So there are some ties to Michigan. I think the Wolverines are in that top group early on, along with schools like Miami and Arkansas and Oklahoma and Florida. He's keeping his recruitment pretty open. But Michigan made a positive impact on that June visit, and they are looking to get him back on campus in the fall. So, he hasn't set up a game day visit just yet, but I do think they will be able to get him on campus. And, when you have Donovan Johnson and Caden Strayhorn to help you recruit, I think that's positive. And Grant Newsome's done a really nice job, Michigan's offensive line coach, of building an early relationship here. So, Breck Kolojay, definitely one to watch along the offensive line next cycle. Let's go ahead and flip over to the defensive line and talk about top 100 edge Jake Kreul. Now, Jake Kreul is a guy that I have been really impressed with over the last 2 weeks. Now, he doesn't have the typical build. He's 6'2.5", 220 pounds. So he's not that really tall, lengthy edge that I personally like. I don't normally value guys with the build of Kreul super high, but Kreul's the exception to the rule. He is a phenomenal player, extremely high motor, great technique, terrific power, checks so many boxes. He made Brady Hart's life basically a nightmare back there. I mean, he was consistently getting pressure on Hart all night long. And even going back to last week when I saw IMG play Bergen Catholic, he was consistently getting pressure on the quarterback and just using that blend of speed and power and technique. I mean, Jake Kreul has it all. If he were a little taller and longer, I think he'd be a 5-star prospect. And even now, he's a top 100 recruit. He visited Michigan for the first time in June. He told me he's planning to get back to campus this fall. And Lou Esposito doing a really nice job here, has Michigan in the mix with the Florida schools and some others. So Jake Kreul, definitely one to watch as well. Let's go ahead and go back to the 2025 class because there's a new flip target. I actually had a chance to see Gavin Nix, 4-star linebacker at IMG Academy. Some of you might be saying, well, isn't that the same school that Nathaniel Owusu-Boateng goes to? And the answer is yes, but it does not matter. Michigan's recruiting both. Owusu-Boateng remains the top target at the linebacker position, but the Wolverines have put out some feelers to Gavin Nix. Brian Jean-Mary, Michigan's linebackers coach, actually recruited Nix at Tennessee. Nix is keeping his recruitment a bit open despite his verbal pledge to Miami. So I think that, Michigan is at least has his attention. I'm not going to say Michigan's going to be in a prime position to flip him from Miami or anything, but I think the relationship with Brian Jean-Mary helps. He told me that Donovan Johnson and Caden Strayhorn have both been recruiting him already. So, and another positive thing he told me is that he plans to visit this fall. So that is definitely a new development and something to watch. He's a little undersized at 5'11" and a half, 225 pounds, but he's very physical. He kind of is Michael Barrett-esque. So I liked what I saw from him on the field. He plays bigger than that size. And, if he does make it in for a visit this fall, that's definitely something to watch. I do think they would take both him and Owusu-Boateng. Remember, Michigan just has one linebacker committed, and that's Chase Taylor, who I like more as a pass rusher, to be completely honest. So, it wouldn't be surprising to see them take Nix and Boateng if they can make that happen. Now, can they make that happen? That's another story. Owusu-Boateng is still a tight recruitment. Miami, it's going to be tough to flip a kid away from a school like Miami with what they do with NIL and the success they're now having on the field. So, ideally, they'd love to get both or at least one, but I think, there's still a long way to go this fall, and it's all about getting them on campus. All right, guys, those are 5 key recruits that I saw on the road this past week. I will be back on the road seeing some more prospects. So make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications every time I drop a new video. Like I said, take advantage of our new YouTube members package that gets you exclusive access to the weekly live recruiting show for more exclusive intel on the big weekend. You can watch the replay of the show and become a YouTube member. And you also get exclusive access to the Chris Ballas and Doug Skeen show. You get no ads and a bunch of other perks. So sign up today for just $4.99 a month. And like I said, you can subscribe to thewolverine.com for even more information, and like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel for free.